Hi everyone. Sorry for the late. Okay. Hi. Hi Gopi. Gautam. Chennam Sachi. And switch.
Hi Devi, good morning.
Okay. Hope you all already know Excel. Already done. Okay. What about Gopi Gautam? Hope you have idea about Excel, right?
Yes,
The macros depends on Excel. If you know Excel, whatever you are learning in Excel, the same thing we are going to automate it here. Okay. Fine. Let me start with, I'll just today give you a demo session. Okay, like what you are going to learn in VBA macros and why do you want to learn VBA. Just we'll see that, okay? Okay, first, tell me why do you want to learn macros?
I want to be free in my work.
Sorry?
I want to be free in my workload.
Okay, you want to free your workload. Means, can I say time saving? Okay. One is time saving.
To do repetitive tasks,
Okay.
we will request macro.
Correct. If you want to, if you are doing the same task multiple times, okay, then also we can write a macro. Can I say that as automation? Correct. One is time saving. Yeah. Second one is automation. Okay. What else?
Automation.
Any other uses of macros? Why do you want to learn macros? Just think from your side. If you learn macros, how it will be benefit to you.
We can learn something new if we are doing it.
Can I say skill enhancement? Yeah, okay. Skill enhancement. Okay. Am I sharing my screen? Sorry. Okay, hope you can see my screen now. Yeah. What else? Error-free reports, exactly. To automate the work and error-free reports. Okay. So what is this means error-free reports? Let's say my work is daily my work or maybe weekly I create some reports. What I'll do, I need to get data from different people. Let's take I'm a team lead. Under me we have some 10 employees, 10 salespersons. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll take all the person's data, I'll collect from all 10 people and I'll combine it, I'll consolidate it. Maybe then I'll apply some filters and I'll create some report and then I'll send the emails to different people based on the region or city wise, whatever. That is my work. So when you are doing this copy paste, maybe you may do some mistakes, right? Not only copy paste, when you are creating the reports, you may miss some steps. Correct? So instead of doing manually, whatever things you are doing manually, we can write a macro code. What macro will do? It will collect the data. It will open the file and it will copy the data. It will paste the data. Whatever you are doing manually through keyboard or mouse, everything this macro will do. Okay. So because already you are writing the step in the code, it won't miss anything and you won't get any errors. It's 100% accurate results. So I'll say you will get 100% accurate results. Right? Yeah. What else?
Easy to read the huge data, consolidate.
Sorry, Gautami. I thought I call you as Gautam, right? Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
So what you are saying?
Maybe we can read the data easily, the complex data.
Okay. Complex data easily. That
Handle the complex data.
to
It's
handle complex
yeah.
data.
Yeah.
Okay. That is like a yeah, handle complex data. Means can you tell me
Too much information in one sheet, but we want only particular information to go through.
Means clean up the data.
Clean up the data. Just like it comes under automation only, right?
Okay.
Any other? That's it. From your end, okay. Just think, if you learn macros, what are the advantages?
Anyway, time saving. We do our work in details of VBA.
Skill enhancement.
100% accurate. You have a chance to learn something else.
Like a skill enhancement, okay. So if it is a time saving, it's indirectly cost saving,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
Like how it is cost saving? Suppose for a particular project, some 10 employees are working, okay? To collect this data and to send the reports, maybe they need to check each and every value. Based on that, they need to send email to different people.
For a company, right?
Company. Obviously, that we will.
We are taking and based on the employee, not the employer.
See, indirectly, yeah, it is benefit to company also if you learn macros. Okay. Okay. So cost saving, yes. If it is time saving, time is equal to cost. Okay. Directly proportional to cost. This is one one advantage. If it is cost saving and it is FTE saving, full-time employee saving. So if 10 people are working for a particular project, after automating it, just one person is enough to run that report. Just you will assign that macro to a button and this will do automatically everything. We don't require 10 people. Right? Okay. So this is FTE saving. What else? Suppose if you learn a macro, you will get good opportunities outside. Correct? And in your same rule, you will get promotions. Salary hike, yes. Okay. And recognitions.
It comes under
Promotion. Yeah. Promotions and recognition. Means instead of promotions, you will get even sometimes, awards also, right? Promotions and recognitions. And awards, right? You will get all these benefits, right? Already we have. So in this advantages, which is benefit to employee and which is benefit to company, employer. Time saving to whom?
It's for employee. Company also it should say time saving.
Time saving. They will get a report on time if you automate it, and you no need to sit on the same requirement much time, right? So it is benefit to both employee and employer. But I'll say only for employer because you completed your work instead of doing that work in 4 or 5 hours of time. You completed in 1 minute. Will they ask you to sit idle remaining time? No, you need to work on some other thing, right? So this is benefit to employer. Automation. If you learn automation, then only you will get all this, like good opportunities, promotions, hikes, all this, right? And you have a in your, in your team, you will have a because you have extra skill sets, your demand is different, okay, compared to other employees, okay. And skill enhancement, yes, company should have skilled people, and if we have skill, then only we can survive in the world, right? Yeah, 100% accurate results. They should get result, and we have to give 100% accurate results from our side. Error free results, right? Cost saving to whom? Company, employer, not for us. FTE saving, company. If you save FT, ultimately, actually, you are reducing the FTEs. You are doing bad to your colleagues, actually, right? Yeah. Good opportunities
For employee.
for employee, promotions, recognitions, and rewards. This is for employee, and salary hike is also for employee. Okay. So for these reasons, you are learning maths. Okay. Fine. Let me open. We have, did we miss anything? Time saving, FT saving, skill enhancement, more opportunities, good appraisals, rewards, and recognitions. Fine. Next, before learning macros, you have to do some things first. Okay. What's your batch number? Your number is added in WhatsApp group, right? What is your batch number? Anyone knows? 00683, 693. Okay. 693 batch. VBA weekends 24 May 25. Okay. So before when you are saving the file, you have to save this file in macro enabled workbook. Okay. Then only you can save the macros. If it is normal Excel file, you can see only sheets related data but not macros. Either you can save it in macro enabled workbook or binary workbook. In binary workbook also you can save macros.
But we can write macro in the Excel workbook and we can save it.
In Excel only we will write, but the save as type should be macro enabled workbook. Okay. Select the second option and save it. Okay. Now the next thing is we have to enable the macros. So even though you saved it in macro enabled workbook, you can't run the macros. If you are working with the macros first time in your system, in that application, default macros will be in disabled mode. you have to enable the macros. Okay, how to enable it? Go to File, Options, and go to Trust Center settings. Click on macro settings, and here in your system it will be disable VBA macros. You will have the first option or second, I guess. You have to choose the last one, enable VBA macros.
We need to enable for macros.
Yes, if you want to run any macro, first of all, this should be enabled. Then only you can run the macro. Otherwise, even though you wrote a macro code, you can't run that macro if it is in disable mode. Okay. So, sometimes even though I'm sending the macro file to you, when you are clicking on it, it will show you macros are disabled in your system. So what you have to do, you have to enable this macro, then run it, then you can run the macros. Okay. That is the next thing you have to do. The same enabling macro you can do in other way also. Go to developer tab and here click on macro security, and this directly will go to this macro settings. This is direct step. From the developer, go to macro security. From here you can enable the macros. Okay, and say okay. And by the way, you won't have this developer tab first time. You have to enable the developer tab. How to enable that? Right click on it. Right click on a ribbon anywhere. So it will show you customize the ribbon option. Click on it, and here in the right side, this will be like this in your system. Select that developer checkbox and say okay. Then you will get the developer tab. Okay, or otherwise, second option is go to File, Options, Customize ribbon, and from here you can select the developer checkbox. Okay. So you have to do two things. One is getting the developer tab into the ribbon. Second one is enabling the macros. Okay. So already how to enable the macros, we have that save file as macro enable workbook and enable developer tab and then enable macros. How to enable the macros. Already we have the material here. The next one is open VBA editor. So from here, how to open that macros? You can click on developer and then click on Visual Basic. Okay. Okay, in your system you won't have this. Give me one, I'll remove all this. Okay, now see. You will have like this. This is the macro window. Okay. What is that process? Click on developer and then Visual Basic. Or otherwise, Alt F11 is the shortcut key. Alt F11. Okay. Now now we'll try to understand the UI of VBA, user interface. So here you have 5 different windows. Okay. One is Project Explorer window. That material I'll save it later. Okay. I'm just Project Explorer window. One is Project Explorer window. Second one is Properties window. Okay. Third one is Code window. In Code window, you have Sheet code, Module code, and third one is User form code. You will have 3 code windows. And immediate window. immediate window, and then object browser. Okay, these are the 5 windows available in VBA. Let's try to understand one by one. Project Explorer window. What is a project? In Excel, we will call it as a file or workbook. In VBA, the same file we will call it as project. Okay. See VBA project, and this is your file name. Our project name is the same file name. What you will have in the project? All the list of sheets, and if you insert a, if you write a code, you can see the code. So everything which, all the list of sheets we will call it as objects here. There we will call it as sheets, and here we will call it as object. In detail, I'll explain you what is object. Sheets, let me insert module C. You can see module, you can see user forms, everything, whatever code we are writing, the code and the forms, everything you can see here. Okay, in the VBA. That you can see in the left side with this title project, VBA project. If you close it, you can't see. If you want to open it, go to View tab and click on Project Explorer. Okay. Next one is Properties window. Each project, each object properties. Properties is nothing but characteristics. Let's take, you have a sheet name called Sheet 1. But you want to change that sheet name to Introduction. So then you have to go to Properties window. Select that particular object and go to View, Properties window. Then it will show you properties of that particular object. Just like a name of the sheet. Okay, column width of the sheet. And whether it is in hidden mode or visible mode.
So only sheet.
Not only for sheet. See, if I click on module here, then it will show you module project, module properties. If you select a user form, then it will show you user form properties. Any object property you can see in the properties window. Okay. So next one. In this properties, let me tell you some properties. This sheet 1 property name I want to change to. This is the sheet ID, okay? This is the name, visible name. I am changing to intro. Okay? Now if you go here, the name is changed. And this is the standard width. And this visible have 3 options. Excel sheet visible, Excel sheet hidden, and very hidden. I'll tell you. Visible means you can see it, right? Hidden. Why? Because I have only one sheet, okay? So I'll go here. Now I'll change this to hidden, right? Now go here. You can't see that sheet, but you can do a right click and unhide it, correct? You can unhide it. Now let's go to very hidden. Click on very hidden option and go here. This is in hidden mode. But do a right click, you can't unhide it. Nobody should not know that. So sometimes, you want to create a report, but you don't want to allow others to open that raw data sheet, or maybe you will do some rough calculations, pivot table related options, all that. Nobody should not disturb anything. Then what we will do, we will keep it in very hidden mode so that they can't unhide it. As a VBA project developer, you know which sheets are available, right? Only you can unhide it. Okay. If they know macros, they can go to this properties and change the properties from VBA. Then only they can unhide it. You need to check each and every sheet properties. Okay. You have to go here, select that. This is in very hidden. And select this. This is visible. Like this. Okay. Fine. So that is about properties. Property, I just gave you some example, but properties means any object properties. See, if I click on user form has so many properties, right? If you insert a button, again, button will have properties like background color of the button, text color of the button, height and width of the button, position of the button. So you will have so many properties. So that properties we will modify in the properties window. So once you start working with the VBA code, then you will understand clearly what is this properties. It's like a characteristics and some options related to that particular object. Okay. Next one. Code window. Oh, I need to change it. Project Explorer window shortcut key is Control R. Control R. And properties window is F4. Okay. F4. Just to go here, suppose if it is closed, press F4, it will open it. Third one is code window. Code window is nothing but the place where we are going to write our macro. Okay. Then what is the difference between sheet code window, module code window, and user form code window? Okay. Here I am writing in just Excel I'm asking, okay? Equal to A1. Equal to A1. So which A1 it refers to?
A1.
A1 of which sheet?
Same sheet.
Same sheet, active sheet, correct? Now let's go to sheet 2. Here I am writing equal to A1. Now same active sheet. So if you don't give sheet reference, just give a cell reference, then it will give you, it will refer to active sheet, correct? You are clear with that. Now I am writing equal to intro exclamation mark A1. Now it refers to which sheet? Intro sheet A1 cell, because you are giving the sheet reference, correct? Intro sheet. Okay. Now here in the sheet code window, what will happen, you know? If you write sheet code window is nothing but the code we are writing in the sheet. Double click on the sheet, then it will open a sheet code window. You can see here. Can you see? Here, sheet 1 code. Okay. In this sheet, in this sheet 1, whatever code you are writing, that output, every time you will get only in that sheet. Okay. Even though your active sheet is sheet 2, now from here you are writing the code. A1 equal to Excel. I am writing a code like A1 equal to Excel. Okay. Means my intention is in A1 cell I want to enter Excel. So now if I execute this code, where I should get this output? In sheet 2. In sheet 2. Actually, I have to get in sheet 2 because I did not give any sheet reference. But because you are writing code in sheet 1 code, your active sheet may be anything, but your output always you will get in sheet 1 only. Okay. Sometimes your requirement is whatever may be your active sheet, always you want to get your output in that particular sheet. Then you have to write your code in the sheet code window. Okay. Second one is module code window. Module code window means based on like based on the references, based on the active sheet, it will give the output. Now you are here, it will give you output here. If you are here, then you will get output here. Okay. If you want to work with a different sheet, then you have to give sheet name, then cell reference. If you want to work with a different workbook, give that workbook name, then sheet name, and then cell reference. So that is module code window. That is what we regularly use. 90% of the cases we use module code window. Okay. Next, third one is user form code window. It's like a forms, right? So this one, if you write any code here, it's like a, sorry. Yeah, we will create some forms like this. Show you. Do we have any user form here? Okay, something like this. I have a user form. So what I'll do, I don't want to, this also we can hide it. I'll show you that later. I'm giving some wrong username and password. When you click on login failed and it will give you empty. My username is some Excel and password is 123. So it's correct. When you click on login, it will show you that form. So here you can enter the details. Maybe some, what is that, Gautami? Okay, some 868, some number. If you are trying to enter text, it won't accept. It will throw you error. 4410. And the city, you can select some drop downs. These are all controls, okay? Select your gender. These are called radio buttons. It will allow you to select only one option. Okay. And interested courses, you can select multiple options. These are called check boxes. When you click on clear, clear means what? It should perform some action. Okay. Means inside this clear button, we will write a code to clear all this. It will perform some action. Okay. I clicked on update. Update means the code is different, right? These are controls. When you click or use any control in the back end, it will perform some action. They are called events. Events. The event will trigger when you click on that button. When you click on the button or when you select this control. Okay. So in this, the code is to take data from each and every control and save it in the database. See, now you have only two. When you click on update, it saved the third one, right? Say, okay, data saved. See, and I'm clicking on close button. Close will close the user form. Okay, and it saved some fee, data for registration, time of registration. Manually, you are not entering this data. What you will do now, I saved it in Excel. Maybe that form I'll give to 5 different employees. Okay. And when I'm clicking on the update button, data should save in some SQL server in the backend. So different people will enter data from different systems, but ultimately the data will store in only single table, which is in SQL server, or maybe any common file, which is in the drive. Is it clear? Okay, it's like a form, okay? Instead of entering manually, we will enter here just to avoid some manual intervention. Maybe you can give some conditions in the form. So all that you can do here. Okay. So that is user form code window. So whatever code you are writing inside the control, double click on the update button. So this is update button, update click. Some code. City, okay, city is one. Key press event for mobile. When you are entering mobile number, it should, you have a conditions like it should accept only valid mobile number, all that, right? Please enter valid mobile number. Some user form initialize. Whenever you open the user form, automatically it should load that student ID and student, date of registration, that it should load. So that I'm giving here. and to load some city related items, all that. Okay. This is called user form code window. If you write code inside the user form, that is called user form code. These are the code windows. So simply I'll say the code where you are writing your VBA code, that is called code window. But in that you have three different options. So most commonly used code window is module code window. Okay.
90% code we write in module.
Yeah, modules only. There only we will call from one macro to another macro. And whatever we do, everything maximum we create module and there only we'll do all this. And user forms also we create, but rarely, because in real time in our companies, nobody will ask you to create a user form. But small companies like some 5 or 10 people are working, they want to enter the data. Let's take an institute database, okay?
Now, user form is created by default.
We need to create.
No, by default is not created.
By default?
They give an option, madam. Excel.
In Excel.
No.
Excel is form controls.
Okay.
That is ActiveX control. Here in the in Excel you can't write code directly. Okay, you have to write code again in the VBA only. Okay, controls you can write anywhere. That controls, right? Okay, I'll explain you that later. What is the difference between that form control and ActiveX control, and where we have to assign the macro and where we have to write code again directly inside the control. Both I'll explain you. Okay, the next window is immediate window. So go to view, click on immediate window. So it will show you here like immediate. What is the shortcut key? Control plus G. And for object browser shortcut key is F2. So here coming to immediate window, if you want to know some information like suppose you have 10 sheets, you want to run a loop to get data from all the 10 sheets and keep it in a single sheet. So I want to run the loop from for x equal to some 1 to 10, from sheet 1 to sheet 10. So but you should know how many sheets are there in your workbook. Maybe sometimes you want to know some information. I want to see what is the first sheet name. So if you have so many sheets, you have to go left to see that first sheet and what is the first sheet name. Okay, or some information which is related to any object, that you can get it from immediate window. How to get it? Start with a question mark and give I'm writing sheets dot count. How many sheets are there? Press enter, it will give you that count. Okay, what is the sheet name? I'm writing question mark again, sheets of one dot name. Some immediate information if you want to get. Correct only. Right. Sheet one. No, sheets of one dot name. I'll tell you why. It should give first sheet name. I don't know why I'm not. It will give you what is the name of the first sheet actually. Correct only. Okay, fine. So something like this, you try in your system. Start with question mark and sheets of one dot name. It will give you first sheet. Is it running this code or what? Yeah, I wrote outside A1 equal to Excel, right? Because of that. Here I wrote some code A1 equal to Excel. Because of that, it's running that code also and giving there. Sheets of one dot name, it's giving the first sheet. Okay. Suppose if I change to introduction. Okay. And now run this again. It will give you that. Some immediate information. Okay. That is immediate code window. So without moving to that Excel and checking any option, directly you can start with question mark, ask your question, it will give you info.
If I'm asking like sheet of name, sheet of three or something.
Sheets of 3 dot name.
Oh, if they like F5, what is the value of in F5? What is the value of
F5 cell. Okay. Question mark, a range of F5 dot value. Okay. F5, let's take A13. Okay. In A13 cell, what is the value? It will give you. Okay. Like this, some information it will give you. Immediate results, small results. Okay. That is immediate window. Next one is object browser. Object browser, go to view and object browser, and the shortcut key is F2. Here you can see all the list of objects. This is very important one. Learning about VBA is nothing but learning about objects. Okay. So now let's see what is object. Everything in Excel is object. Sheet is an object. Cell is one object. Workbook is one object. Pivot table is one object. Chart is one object. Shapes are objects. Anything in Excel is an object. If I take a real-time example outside, just listen carefully, okay? If you are clear with what is object, then only you will be good with Excel. Sorry, VBA. Okay? Just try to understand. Let me know if you are getting any confusion. First, I'll start with real time. What is an object? Something which you are able to touch is an object. Okay? Person is one object. Wall, object. TV, an object. Fan is an object. Anything which you are able to touch is an object. So, object will have two options. One is method and one is property. Methods and properties. Again, learning about VBA is nothing but learning about methods and properties of VBA. Okay? Object related methods and properties. Method means if you are performing any action, then that will come under method. Performing any action. Action is like, let's take a person object, okay? What person will do? Run, walk, dance, right? Cry, sleep. These are some actions. What is property? Characteristics of the object. Characteristics means properties. I mean, characteristics are like what properties person will have. Some name, height, color, some weight. All these are the properties. Okay. In other way, already you have something. If I'm talking about Excel, already you have something. If you are modifying that, then we will call it as a property in Excel.
property?
Already you have something. Okay. But you are trying to modifying it. Then it is a property in Excel. In real time, we will property is nothing but characteristics. Okay. Let's take a sheet. Okay. Sheet. For sheet, you have a name. Correct? Name. You want to change the name. Means, is it a method or property? Already you have a name. For every sheet you will have a name. So that will come under property. You want to create a new sheet. Then
Property.
are you modifying it or you are performing some action?
Property.
Some action. Creating a sheet is a method. Deleting sheet, it's a method. Okay. Changing the tab color, property. Let's take for cells. Cell will have some value. I want to modify that value. Then modification. So all the modifications will come under properties. Okay. If you are performing, creating is inserting a new row or column, method. Deleting row or column, method. Changing the font style, property. Font size, background color, property. Font color,
Whatever existing you are changing, it comes under property.
it comes under properties. If it is not available, you are performing some action. Most commonly inserting, deleting, which is not available, you are trying to create it. You are performing some action, then will come under method. Properties are existing ones. Modifications will come under properties. Okay? Just like a person. Person is walking, dancing, sleeping. All these are some actions. Characteristics are like properties of a person is what? Name of the person, color of the person. How you will identify them? Name of the person, color of the person, right? Height of the person, surname of the person, father name, mother name. All these are the properties of a person. Correct? Okay. So how to use this method and properties?
Therefore, we need to create anything, setting, deleting for method.
Correct.
We give the highlights, the coloring and changing the style, and it becomes a property.
Properties, correct. So the syntax is to perform some method. First of all, object. First, I'm talking about a method. Okay. Method syntax is object name. This method or property, both we apply on object. Correct? On object only, right? Object name dot method is the syntax. For
What is that?
Object any. See, if you want to talk about a name of a particular person, that person you have to refer, right? Person dot name. If you are talking about a color of the person dot color. Okay. If you're that color you may have for wall also. Again, wall dot color. Wall is your object where you are applying this method or property. That is called object. Okay. Do you want to add row or sheet? You want to add row, suppose. Row where you will add row dot add you have to write. If you want to add a sheet, sheets dot add you have to write. So that add method where you want to apply on object, that object name you have to mention first. Okay. Object name dot method. And sometimes, object name dot method and give a space. What is that? Argument 1. Argument 1 colon equal to value 1, comma, argument 2 colon equal to value 2, and so on. Okay. This is the second syntax. And for property, the syntax is object name dot property equal to new value. Already you may have a value, you are trying to give a value. That may be a value or a new value. Okay. Let me take a real-time examples. Then we will use that in Excel. Here we have a fan, correct? In this room, online guests, please understand, okay? Clearly, let me know if you are getting any confusion. In this room, we have one fan. That fan has some 3 wings. Now, I want to change second wing color to blue. Okay? Second wing color, I want to change to blue. So, what is your object now?
Second property.
It's a property, correct? Because all colors will come under properties only. Okay? So, yeah. Already for a wing, you have a color. So, you are trying to modify it. So, that will come under property. Okay. What is your object here? Wing 2. Then which value you want to assign?
2 value.
Not 2, color.
Blue.
Blue. So what is the code now? My object name is wing 2 dot, what property you want to modify? What is your property? Property. Color property. Color equal to what is the value? Blue. This is the code. Wing 2 dot color equal to blue. First of all, you need to, where you want to apply that color, you need to mention that object first. Object is wing 2 dot, I want to modify color property and my value is blue. Okay. Now assume like in this room, we have 2 fans, not 1 fan. Okay. In that 2 fans, if I say wing 2 dot color equal to blue, it will change all fans second wing color to blue. Okay, because you did not mention which wing, which fan. So what you have to do, if you have multiple fans, if you have same kind of object multiple times, then you need to mention that object name again. So now fan to second wing color, I want to change to blue. Then what is the code? Fan 2 dot
Wing
2 dot
color.
color equal to blue. You need now it will not apply to all the fans only. It will go to fan 2 first and then wing 2 and then color will change to blue. Okay? Okay. Now here we have multiple rooms. In each room you may have multiple fans. Okay. Now I am in room 1, but if I go to room 2, then if I execute the same code, so in which room fan 2, wing 2 color it will change to blue? Whatever is the active room, in that room it will change the color, correct? But even though I am in room 2 or room 3, but this wing 2 color I want to change only in room 1, then you have to mention room reference first. So now code is what? Room 1 dot fan 2 dot wing 2 dot color equal to blue. Right? Okay. Now I am at lift place. Now I am at lift. Okay. This is 406, but I am in 405 flat. There I am executing this code. Then what will happen? That will apply in room 1, but in flat 405. Correct? If you are in flat 405, but you want to get this wing 2 color in flat 406, then what you have to do? You have to give flat reference. So now flat 406 dot room 1 dot fan 2 dot wing 2 dot color equal to blue. Okay. Now you are in different building. There also you may have flat 406. Correct? Then what you have to do? You have to give building name. KVR enclave. Okay? Dot. So all this. Flat 406 dot room 1 dot fan 2 dot wing 2 dot color equal to blue. Okay. I am in Kukatpalli. There also we have KVR enclave building. Then you have to give area reference first. Correct? That area is all this I'll write. Then I'll say first area reference. Amirpet dot KVR enclave dot all this. Assume like you are in different area, I mean different city in Vizag. There also you have Amirpet and KVR enclave building. Then you have to give area reference. Are you getting what I'm trying to tell you? Based on where you are, there you have to mention the parent object reference also. This
even system name, folder name, file name, sheet name.
correct. So suppose you want to get output in, I'm just giving A1 equal to Excel. Simply A1 equal to Excel. Where you will get output? In active sheet. Whatever is your active sheet, you will get your output there. But you are in sheet 2, but you want to get output in sheet 1. Then now you don't want to get output in the active sheet. You want to get output in a different sheet. So there you have to give sheet reference dot cell reference. You want to get output in different workbook. Your workbook is different. Then you have to give workbook reference, then sheet reference, and then cell reference. You want to work with a different file. I mean different application like Outlook application. Then you have to give application reference first. Are you getting it? This is the hierarchy. Okay. Now this is about a property. Let me take a different example. Okay. I want to throw a pen. Okay. If I throw a pen is a method or property. It's a method. You are not modifying anything. You are performing some action. Throw a pen. So what is the code telling? What is the code to throw a pen?
Update pen dot method.
What is your object here? Pen. Pen dot. What is the method? Throw. Pen dot throw. Correct? Okay. But my requirement is I want to throw a pen. But when you are throwing a pen, it will go to forward direction. But I want to throw backward direction. Then still you want to perform action only, but you want to give more conditions to that method. Then you have to use the second syntax. Okay. What is that now? Pen dot throw, give a space. My argument name is direction. Colon equal to, this is the syntax, okay? When you are giving method related arguments, you have to give argument name colon equal to value is backward. So now when you are throwing the pen, if you don't give any input, default whatever you have to that method, it will use that method related options. But if you are giving more conditions, then it will move to this backward direction. It will throw a pen, but not forward direction, backward direction. Okay? Okay. Next example. I want to start a bike. What is the code? Starting the bike is what? Is it a method or property? Method only. What is your object here? Bike. What is the method? Start. Okay. I want to move this. Usually when you are starting the bike, it will move to forward direction. But I want to move to backward direction. Then bike dot start space direction equal to backward or something, whatever which is related to that particular object. Okay. Again, I want to start the car dot start. I want to move this to backward direction. Car dot start. Maybe gear is my argument. Gear colon equal to 6. Default is 1. I am changing to 6. So that it will go to backward direction. Are you getting the difference between method and property? Okay. Online guys, any questions from your side? So far, any questions? No questions. Okay. Okay. So you got some idea, right? What is method and what is property, when to use method and when to use property. Now, and what is object and how to give parent, when we have to give parent object name, grandparent object name, object based on the location you are, based on where you are, based on that you have to give that object references. Okay. Then only it will give you output in the exact place. Otherwise, always it will give you in the active place only, active object. In active object only will get the output. Let me write a small macro. I'll explain you small macro and how many ways we can run the macro. I'll stop there. We'll continue actual class from tomorrow. I'll just explain you small macro and how to run that macro. Okay. Okay. If you want to write any macro, not only access.
Sorry to disturb you there. I have a question.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between macro and VBA? Both are one and the same?
Yeah. I'm trying to explain you the same thing, not same. So now I want to write a macro code, okay? Not only a macro, any programming language. If you want to write, you should have some, what is that, platform. If you go for a Java code, some JDK is the application, some C++, Turbo, C2, something they use, okay? Some interface we require to write a macro code, right? I mean, to write a program and to execute it. You can't write any macro, any program in Notepad file. Can you able to write a macro?
No. No.
Can you able to write any code in the Notepad file?
No.
No, we can't write. Can you able to design a PPT presentation in Word document? No.
No.
If you want to run any particular language, programming language, we will have different platforms. Okay?
Okay.
So in VBA also, if you want to run macro, we should have a platform. That platform is called VBA, Visual Basic for Application. VBA stands for it's a programming language, Visual Basic for Application. Okay. So I can say it's like a application where we will write our actual macro code. The piece of code you are writing to perform some action, that is called a macro. Okay. Macro is like a step-by-step instructions. Open workbook is one instruction. Write something is one instruction. Save workbook, one instructions. Close one workbook is one instruction. Whatever you want to perform, everything you have to write like an instruction. That code is called macro. To write this macro, we need a platform. That platform is VB. Visual, that application. Okay. So macro and VBA both are not same. Okay. Yeah. Now you got idea. Macro is the actual piece of code that we will write in the VBA application.
Yeah, clear my doubt. Thank you.
Okay. So Visual Basic for Application. The name itself is saying it's a very basic application. You know, even in C language. Anybody have some idea about this? Any programming language, not only C? Sorry? No. Any programming language? Do you have any idea about any programming language like C, C++, Java, .NET, anything? No one? All are you from MBA or BCom background? Yes? Okay, fine. So in that programming, even you won't get 5% also. Okay? So it's like a general English. What did you learn here? Same like this. Everything will be in the form of only these two methods and properties. That's it. What is your what you should understand? What object we have to use? Which method you want to apply and which property you want to apply. Okay. So by end of tomorrow, you will get a complete idea. Like you will be very clear with how to write the macro. By end of tomorrow, you can write your own macros. You can start write your at least basic macros. You can start write. Clear? Okay. So now, step-by-step instruction. So if you want to write a macro code, not only macro, any programming language, you have to start with some starting point and you have to end with some end point. That starting point and end point we will call as procedures. You have two types of procedures. One is sub-procedures. Second one is function procedure. Okay. Sub-procedure will start with sub. Your macro name. Okay. Open and close the bracket. And write your macro, whatever you want to write, right here. And then end sub. Okay. And function procedure will start with function and the function name. And inside the bracket, you will have some argument 1, argument 2, and so on. And inside, you will write the code. And here, it returns a value. And then end function. Okay?
The function comes in the same return.
Sorry?
Return value.
I'll tell you what is return value. So, what is the difference between sub-procedure and function procedure? Sub-procedure is like, it will perform some set of instructions. Just like what I explained you, open workbook, okay, enter some value, filter some data, copy data, paste into somewhere, okay, close that workbook, delete some rows and columns, change the background color, apply borders, all this some set of instructions we write in sub-procedure. Coming to function procedure, you will send some input to that function. It will do some calculation and it will send some result back to called function. Okay, like function procedures will send some result. Let's call some function. Already we have some function, but for your clarity, sum is a function I'll create here. So I'll call some function. I'm passing some 10 and 20 to this function. Okay, so it will do whatever it want to do, everything it will do here. Return value means that some result it will send back. Okay, or you have a function like discount amount. Okay, what discount amount will do? You don't have any function in Excel to calculate the discount amount. So I will create a function, my own function like discount amount. Okay, in discount amount, what are the argument you need to give to that function to calculate the discount amount? What is the principal amount? What is that price, number of items, and what is the discount percentage? It will do some calculation in the code and the result. What is that result? Discount amount, it will send back to that main method. Okay, function procedures will send some result. Just like a VLOOKUP function, some function, you will pass some input. Then once the moment you press enter, it will give you some result. Same like that. Okay, this you are going to learn at the end. 90% of the 90% of our classes will be depending on sub-procedures. Okay, you will get a clear idea about what is function procedure. And one more thing is, if some function is not available in Excel, then you can write a macro for to create your own function. Like convert number into words. You want to create you are working with some invoice templates. That amount, is it in numbers? It is in numbers, but I want to show it like a words. Some 1,234,000 rupees only something. That function you don't have in Excel. So what we will do? We will write a macro code. Okay. Like spell number, something is my macro function name. That function I will write here equal to spell numbers. There is no spell number. Once you give that number, it will convert into words. That you can create your own functions using this function procedure. So I'll explain you that later. For now, don't think about function procedure. So for us, the first one is sub-procedure. Okay? Okay. Now sub-procedures will start with sub. And the macro name. What is your macro name? You can give any name, your own name, but that should be a meaningful name. Don't give some XYZ macro, okay, or some ABC macro like that. Give a macro name which is explaining others to what kind of work we are doing inside that macro.
They should understand what we wrote.
What we wrote, right? So sub, I'm writing send email is my macro name. Sub update registration form, okay, or like change formatting is my macro name, maybe. Yeah, so it will perform some action, right? So whatever action it is doing, the main word it should reflect in that macro so that we can understand easily. Should we give only that? You can give anything, but nobody will understand if they open that macro what kind of code you wrote, right? You are a team lead, you wrote the macro and you left the company. Others need to modify something. How will they understand what is each and every macro? They can't read it everything, right? If they want to modify something in the send email macro, then they will check, they will go to only that macro and they can modify it. Give a meaningful name. Okay, when you're giving that name, you need to follow some instructions. Okay, that is, first one is macro name should not start with number. It should not start with a number. Don't give 1 2 3 or 1 2 3 ABC, something like that. You can give ABC 1 2 3. First start with a character, later you can add a number. Sorry?
Why it's not accept?
They're like a syntax in the programming languages, they will give some conditions. Okay, so there one of the condition is this. So every programming languages, they will have some like they follow some instructions. It's like a syntaxes. Okay, syntax is like some set of instructions that we have to follow. Not only for macro name, even for variable names, function name, everywhere. I'm explaining you here, the same will you have to follow in future also, everywhere.
No function is starting with something.
Yes, correct. It should not start with a number. Next one is, it will not allow more than 256 characters. Macro name should be maximum 255 characters. 255. It will not allow more than 255. Okay. Third one, the same macro name you should not give to more than one macro. You wrote a macro like first macro and second macro name also first macro. From this button, you are trying to assign first macro. So which macro it will call? You have same first macro 2 times. So there is a, sorry, it won't take. So it will show you when you are trying to run it, it will show you ambiguity error. You can't give same macro name to more than one macro in the same project. In different project you can. Okay. That is the third one. Fourth one, it will not accept reserved words. Reserved words means okay. Like you have a if. If is a word that we will use to write some if condition. For is a keyword that we will write to run some loop. Dim is a word to define a variable. Okay. See, sub and I'm writing my macro name is first macro. Once the moment you press enter, you can see in blue color, correct? Sub in blue color and sub in blue color. So that blue color ones are called reserved words. Okay, you can identify them. And reserved word means it has some meaning in VBA that we will use only for that particular purpose. Sub is to start the macro. N sub is to, it's like that is the last stage of macro. There it will close that macro. Reserved words are the keywords that there for that words we have some meaning in the VBA code. That we should not use it like a macro. Okay. And the last one is it will not allow any special characters except underscore. You can't give first space macro. At the rate, no other characters it won't accept. If you want to separate two words, you can use only underscore. Okay. Or without underscore, first word write first character uppercase and then second word first character uppercase so that you can identify. Okay. Now I'm writing my first macro. So message box is like a box which will show some output to the user. Okay. So this is my first macro. Something I wrote. Okay. It will show some like a box to the user. Now this I want to run. How to run this macro? First one is click on the play button. This is the play button. Click on it. It will run the macro. Okay. Second one. F5 is the shortcut. F5. Okay. Third one. Go to developer and click on macros. It will show you that macros list. Now you have only one macro, but you will have multiple macros here. Select whatever macro you want to run and then click on run button. Okay. This is the third method. Fourth method. You can assign your own shortcut key to the macro. Let's take Control A. What is Control A? It's like a select all, right? Select all. Select current region. If you are outside, it will select entire sheet. If you are inside any data range, then it will select that current region date. Do that, right? But I want to assign Control A to run that macro. Right? Let's see how to assign your own shortcut key. Developer, go to macros and click on options here. Don't run. Click on options. Options. And here by default you will have control and I'll say A. Say OK. Close it. Now if I say control A, it will run the macro. It will lose actual functionality of that shortcut. Okay. And that too, this will work only in this application outside. Okay. Only in this it won't. Now go to again macro. If you want to remove it, go to options again and remove it and say okay. Now again it will come back. Control. You can assign your own shortcut. and assign macro to a button. Take any shape or button. Here you can see shapes. Let me take any shape, some smiley I'm taking, okay? You want to change the color? This is fine. Or a button you can take. Okay, I'll go to some shape otherwise. Okay, I'm changing the design. I want to give some different style to the text. Right click, edit text, run macro, run first macro. You will have update, clear, something, anything, okay? I'm giving my first macro. Right click on it. Click on assign macro. Select the macro which you want to assign to that button. Say okay. Click on it. It will run the macro. Okay. Next one. You can assign macro to ribbon. Okay. So how? Suppose in the developer tab here I want to. These are called groups, right? Code group, add-ins, controls, XML. Here I have a space. So I want to add one more group. My macros. I want to add my macro here. From here directly I want to run the macro. So how to use that? Go to file, options, trust center. 1 second, sorry. Customize ribbon. Go to customize ribbon. And here in the popular commands, go to macros. So it will show you all the list of macros. Okay. All the list of macros. So select where you want to assign in the developer tab, right? Select the developer and click on new group. Click on new group. So it created a new group. Now I want to rename this group. After this, click on rename option. Okay. And I'm giving B00693. What is that? 693. Huh?
Yes.
693. I'm giving as a group name. Okay. You can even okay, fine. Macro name I'll give. So I created a group. So now select this group and then select the macro, click on add. Now that macro will add here. And then if you want to change the name of the macro or click on rename or you want to change some icon, you can modify it. So what I'll do, I want to give a different icon to run that macro. Let me give something like here I'm giving some smile. First macro, say okay. The icon got changed. Say okay. Now here you can see B00693 and first. Correct? Now click on this. It will run the macro. Okay? Or you can create your own tab, extra tab here. You don't want to add in any existing tabs. All your macros, maybe you want to create a tab there, you want to keep that macros. No need to go to that macros to run, or you don't want to assign, create any buttons from here directly, you want to run it. Okay. Then what you have to do? Go to file, again same options, and what is that? Customize ribbon, and here macros, and before that go to last one, click on new tab. Okay. New tab will create a new tab. If you want to create a new tab, at least it should have one group. So automatically it will create one group. Select the tab first and click on rename. I am changing the display name to B00693 is my tab name. Okay. And group name also I am changing. I'll just say VBA macros is my group name, or test macros is my group name. Okay. Say okay. And select the macro, add to this group, right? Select the macro, click on add. The macro is coming here. Say okay. Now you can see B00693. Click on it and you can see a group.
All six my system.
Yes. See? Okay, let me close this. I think show. Well, macro will be only in that, right? Yeah, I am getting it. Okay. And one more is F9 is the shortcut key to run the macro line by line. So that we use in the testing process. When you are developing the macro, you need to check one by line whether you are getting the expected output or not for each and every line. When you are developing the macro, we will go for line by line execution only, so that we don't know where you are doing some mistakes, right? So there we'll go for line by line execution. That is F9 is the shortcut. Okay, is it clear? So okay. So after in the macro session, what you are going to learn, I'll show you. Okay, now we are in introduction, right? You are going to learn how many ways you can refer a cell. Like I'm saying simply A1 equal to Excel, right? It's not actually A1 equal to Excel. How to refer a cell. Cell reference, how to give. And what are the methods and properties we apply on cell? Like inserting rows, columns, deleting cells, rows, columns, doing copy, paste special options. See all this. Bold, italic, underline, applying borders, background color, font color, alignments, how to change, indent levels, how to change. Okay. And orientation, angle of the text, how to change it. Wrap text option, merging options, changing the number formattings. Okay. Clear options, delete options, all that. Cell related, all methods and properties, how to do that we are going to learn in the cell references. Then some tasks also you are going to do in middle, and then sheet reference. Sheet reference means what? How to refer a sheet. If you want to work with a different sheet, how to work with that sheet, and how to create a sheet, how to delete a sheet, how to change sheet name. Okay, changing the tab color, hiding or unhiding the sheet, move sheet from one position to another position. Okay, so that options, sheet related options you are going to learn in sheet reference. And then workbook reference. Create a workbook. Okay, what is the difference between active workbook and this workbook? How to activate the workbook, how to save the workbook, and how to close the workbook. So that options we are going to learn in the workbook reference. Then some get and set methods means you want to assign a blue color as a background. So what we are writing, some A1 equal to color, A1 dot color equal to some blue we are writing. But my intention is I don't want to give blue color. In B1 cell, whatever color I have, the same color I want to apply to A1. Means these are like getting from one object and assigning to other object. That is get and set methods. That how to do you are going to learn here. Some tasks. And then variables. What is variable? I'll tell you later. We are going to learn these are the different kinds of variable and when to use which kind of variable, that we'll learn. And some color codes, error types, what are the errors you are going to get. Then loops concept. Loops is again very important concept. If you know loops and if condition, most of the macros will have the same. Okay. In loops, you have 4 different kinds of loops. First, we'll start with for loop. In for loop, you have so many examples, because if you are good with for loop and if condition, you can do most of the things. See, this is our material actually. See, in loops, you have so many examples. Okay, only on for loop. And after for loop, I'll explain you if condition. If condition. Conditional based values. If something is greater than or equal to this, pass, then fail. Loops with if condition combination. Conditional loop, both combination. And then you are going to learn how to find out the last row. Suppose I want to copy data from A1 to D10. So you will write A1 to D10 dot copy. But if you don't know what is last cell, it's not D10. Now today it is D10. Maybe tomorrow it may be D12 or D15. We don't know that, right? Every time the macro code should work. So you have to find out that last row or last column. How to find out that last row, last column. Remove duplicates, sorting data, filter options. Okay. And using all these options, we are going to do one project. Some data segregation. Okay. Like this. I think. After doing learning loops, if condition, last row, last column, remove duplicates. Using all these options, we are going to do this data segregation. Okay. So this is your raw data. In raw data, you have data by product and customer. How many customers you have? How much data you have? Some 278 records. And how many customers you have? So many customers. So what I have to do? Let's filter Anton first. I need to create a new sheet called Anton. And this Anton data should copy in Anton sheet. And then create a new sheet called alf key. And keep this alf key data in that sheet. Like this, how many customers you have, this many sheets we have to create and segregate the data. Can you tell me how much time it will take to do this task? 2 hours. So are you sure after 2 hours you are doing 100% right? We don't know, right? But now see, we have different methods to do this data segregation. Data segregation into different sheets or maybe different workbooks. I don't want to create a sheet. I want to create a file for each customer. So all that you are going to learn here. But first I'll execute some code. So it's performing something, see. What is that? 7? Is it minutes? 7 seconds. That instead of doing that work in 2 to 3 hours, you can see from Anton. See, cust sheet created and it's removed duplicates. We have 78 customers. Anton sheet, Anton data. Bug sheet, bugs data. Wallet sheet, wallet data. You want to remove it? Tomorrow I got a different data. I want to remove old data. Click on cleanup. It's done. There is no sheet at the end. After you got fresh data, copy that data here and do data segregation. Okay. So the next one. That's about data segregation macro. So here most of the concepts we will use. Then I'll explain other loops, do while and do until. And then for each loop, what is for each loop? You have, suppose you want to refresh a pivot table. Okay. You may have pivot table in active sheet, but you want to refresh pivot table from different sheets also. Pivot table is not, it's an object, right? If you don't know how many pivot tables are there in the active sheet, okay, then what we will do, we will run object loop for each pivot table. Do this. For each sheet, apply tab color. For each means if you want to run object loop, usually loops we will run with the normal data types like for x equal 1 to 10. So that loop will run 10 times. Like R1 to 100. But here we don't know the count. For each workbook, I'll say, I don't know how many workbooks are there. If you want to execute, if you want to work with object loop, there we will go for each loop, and this is also very important. And using for each loop, you are going to do some data consolidation. I have data in different sheets. Now I want to get it in the single sheet. Data consolidation. See? For each sheet, copy data and paste here. That is my requirement. Okay. I am deleting this sheet. Consolidate sheet. Okay. Deleted. I have just the data. Now go to this macro. I think I did not assign to anybody. Data consolidation. Run it. Now if you go to this macro, already done. And it created and you have this data. This we do using data, for each loop. So that is one kind of project. And then some set options. Functions. How to use that Excel functions, VLOOKUP function, SUMIF function. That Excel functions, how to use in VBA. Okay. In VBA, already we have some list of functions. How to use VBA functions. And if something is not available, how to create your own function. User-defined function, that function procedure. That 3 kinds of functions you are going to learn in functions. And this is also important for us to learn. And then this is user-defined function is nothing but that only. By value, by reference, I'll tell you that. Errors, if you are getting errors, how to handle the errors. Okay. And then scope of variables, I'll tell you. Then file dialog boxes. So I wrote a code like open this workbook from C drive, some folder. That path we will give, right? But will that code works in other system? Why? Because this path is not same in that particular system. Or I'm saying you open test.excelytics workbook, but in other system that file name may be different. So there we have to go for file dialog box. Without depending on the file path and file name, how to get that file path and file name, how that way should work in every system. There we will go for this file dialog option that we are going to learn. And then some input box and output boxes, that message box, different options. So something like something like this. Yes or no button. Yes, no, okay buttons. Okay. Some critical style. I'll tell you what. Some list of boxes that we are going to learn, then arrays concept. Okay. So after doing all this, in middle, we are going to do some tasks also, okay, that we have separately in the macros. In here, you will have some macros. I mean, test macros, some tasks, and then we are going to learn user forms. I showed you before just now, right? What is user form? Yeah. How to call from one user form to other user form, how to get this value and store in the Excel or any database. Okay, that we are going to learn. And one more also I'll tell you, but which is not in our syllabus, but I'll tell you how to send automatic emails using Outlook. You will have data here, and just if you click on button, how to send mails automatically and how to connect with the database also I'll explain. Like I'll take MS Access database. There, how to create a table, how to update the table from Excel, how to delete the table, how to insert the data into the table. All that we are going to learn. Okay, that will be our last classes.
Any project that big project you are done?
You won't have any big projects, or you will have some kind of task. No, this only, I mean, with the examples I'll show you, right? So you try to do in your real time whatever manual things you are doing, try to do, and if you stuck anywhere, I will give you idea how to do it. Just apply in your real time. Okay? Yeah. Any questions from anyone? Aruna, Gopi, Gautami, Manohar, Sampath, Sridhar.
Yeah, no questions there.
Okay, fine. Hope no one has any question. Okay, great. Then we'll continue tomorrow. I'll start with how to give a cell reference and cell related methods and properties. So sheet reference, sheet related. By tomorrow end of the class, you can do your own macro. Okay. If any questions, you can stay back. Otherwise, you can drop the calls. We'll continue tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
So Devi Gautami here.
Yeah, Gautami ji.
Yeah, whatever you just now explained, I think we have to keep on practicing on how to start and what is our source, right?
Sorry, what is
Then
your?
we will remember, right?
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
So here I'll upload the materials after the class, okay? I did not write anything. This is today is a theory, right? I'll show you once.
So as we are new to this, I think we need to understand that coding and remember what exactly we have to start with.
See, whatever we are explaining in the classroom, first try to do this one. Saving the file, enabling that. This is the first thing to create.
Yeah, this I am aware. Actually,
Okay.
I work on
Then,
couple of macros, but
okay.
I want to focus more on how to identify object method and run this code. I mean, write this code, identify, sort, whatever it is.
Correct.
As per, yeah.
Correct. So today we started with just a small macro, first macro, right? First,
Correct.
try to run that macro in all the methods. So what is macro name rules? Already we have material, that's why I did not write it. So
Okay.
how to macro execution? Select the macro and click on run button. All we have, right? Just to
Correct.
try to do this for today.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'll ask you some questions on this. So tomorrow you will get more idea like what is object, what is method and property.
Correct.
So whatever you are learning in the classroom, first to try to practice that.
Okay.
So at the end of the classes, you will be good with all the macros. You can write any complex macros also.
Yeah, actually, I have a certain set of tasks provided
Okay.
to create a macro. I have to work on it. I have to start learning and then execute it on my.
Okay, don't try now. At least wait for some 2 weeks, then you can start, right? Because still you are in the initial stage.
Correct. Yeah,
By
I agree.
tomorrow, you will get at least some basic idea. Wait for 1 more week. By next weekend, we can complete for loop if condition. Then you can start write your own macro.
Okay.
Then you can apply all our options in your macro and try to do it. After classes, when you are doing the project, if you get any queries, please let me know. I'll help you. What is what steps you have to follow to create that macro.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that's what actually I'm looking for, that support. Yeah.
We will have, and your numbers will be with us. We will add your numbers in the after the classes also. We will add your numbers in the different group, main group, which will have all our students. So whenever you have any queries, you can post in the groups. We will help you. If any small queries, or you can come to our institute and
yeah, I actually I'm asking this question because I have to deal with macros, in a long run actually. I work for Bank of America.
Okay.
So we deal with a lot of huge data, complex data. We're trying to automate a couple of manual tasks. We already have 50 plus macros. We want to develop couple of more. We had an expert who was actually dealing with these macros, but he's not with the organization now. So I have got that opportunity, but I don't know how to implement and write macros. However, I have couple of information how to deal with macros when there is an error and all that. But I'm not an expert, so I'm trying to learn how it functions and all. So I think it would help me. The sessions would help me in giving best. Yeah.
You will get a complete idea. Like we are also working on macros from last 10.
Sorry, your voice. I can't hear you. Devi, are you there? Hello, Devi, you there?
Hi, Aruna and Sridhar. My laptop got switched off. Do you have any questions from your side?
Madam, can I ask you in Telugu, madam?
Yeah, చెప్పండి.
అదే కొంచెం అంత బాగా ఏమి అర్థం కాలేదు మేడం. స్టార్టింగ్ కదా!
ఓకే.
ప్రాక్టీస్ ద్వారా అర్థమవుతుంది.
ఒక్కసారి ఈరోజు మెటీరియల్ ఒకసారి చదవండి.
హ్మ్.
రేపు క్లాస్ కూడా అటెండ్ అవ్వండి. సో, మీకేమైనా ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఉంటే నాకు చెప్పండి. ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్‌ప్లెయిన్ యూ అగైన్.
మేడం నాకు రెగ్యులర్ క్లాసెస్ కావాలి మేడం. వీకెండ్ అయితే కష్టం అవుతది కదా! సో, అందుకు.
రెగ్యులర్ మనకి ప్రస్తుతానికి ఎక్సెల్లే ఉన్నాయండి. VBA ఇప్పుడే స్టార్ట్ చేశాం కదా! రెగ్యులర్ అంటే ఇంకా టైం పడతది. అండ్ ఇప్పుడు రెగ్యులర్‌గా స్టార్ట్ చేసే వాళ్ళు గూడా వేరే వాళ్ళు ఉండరు. VBA నేనే తీసుకుంటాను క్లాసెస్. మార్నింగ్ ఉంది. ప్లస్ వీకెండ్స్ VBA కండక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఈ క్లాస్ అయిన తర్వాత మీకు వీడియో ఉంటది. ఇప్పుడు ఏదైతే మనకి క్లాస్ జరిగిందో, ఆ క్లాస్‌ది వీడియో రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది. మీరు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసేటప్పుడు మళ్ళీ రికార్డింగ్ వీడియో చూసుకొని కూడా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. సో, ఇంక్లూడింగ్ నేను క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ చేసి మధ్యలో బ్రేక్ ఒక 10-15 మినిట్స్ బ్రేక్ ఇస్తాను. అదంతా కలిపి 2 అవర్స్ 30 మినిట్స్ లోపే ఉంటుంది.
Just taking off.
ఒక హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ ఎలా అయినా క్లాస్ ఉండదు. మాక్సిమం 2 అవర్స్ 30 మినిట్స్ అంతే ఉంటుంది క్లాస్. అండ్ ఈ లోపు కూడా మనకి అంత ప్రాక్టికల్ ఓరియెంటెడ్ కదా! మనం అంత విన్నట్టేమీ అనిపించదు.
అదే గౌతమి గారు మాట్లాడిన
కట్ అయిపోయింది. హలో గౌతమి గారు. యాహ్! యాహ్!
Yeah, I was talking. I don't know. I was not able to hear.
No. Actually, my laptop got shut down. I did not check it. And
Okay. So that is my requirement, ma'am.
yeah.
Because
Sridhar, do you have any questions? He's not there yet. I know, that's why I don't prefer online.
Again, you can focus on online.
Correct, correct.
Calls.
వేరే ఏదో వర్క్ వస్తే వదిలేసి వెళ్ళిపోవడం, ఆడియో రికార్డింగ్ సెషన్ ఉంటది కదా అనుకుంటా, అది చూడము మళ్ళీ. ఆఫ్లైన్ అయితే చచ్చినట్టు అక్కడ కూర్చోండి. యా కరెక్ట్. ఏమైనా క్వరీ కావాలన్నా అడగచ్చు. సరే, ఓకే దెన్, థ్యాంక్ యూ.